Hello and welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk a little bit about engine mount because we have still the stock ones. Oh no, that's not true. We had the stock ones for quite some time. Then I bought the one from Hard Race and they claim it's an upgrade. I say it's not. Because I couldn't feel anything different even when you have both of them on your table and you compare them. I don't know what they've upgraded, but yeah, they're still the same floppy as the stocks. So yeah, I wouldn't buy these because it's not really an upgrade. And we had, when we crashed, we had one of the bolts of the left one, the one that is on top of the gearbox on driver's side, the left hand side. We had the bolt in here, down here, this one snapped. And yeah, I'm not sure if that's really, so this is how we got it out. Yeah. So that's not really, or it wasn't really an upgrade. And so we got back to stock, especially after we destroyed it. And I was always looking for upgraded ones because with the sequential and everything, you have so much load on the engine, so it shakes or it moves quite a bit. And so I was looking around and then I found something, and we already have the I don't know, the torque mount on the lower thingy. So the lower one is from Workline, that's already upgraded, so that helps a lot with keeping the moving to the back a lot, or it reduces that a lot. It also adds vibrations and everything to the car. But with a sequential gearbox, it's already comfortable, it's already out the window. So yeah. And now we have found some real billet ones. I'm gonna show you a picture I made when I received them, so you can see how they look before we had them powder coat, because it's just steel, so it's gonna rust most likely, and it's welded, and so it's gonna rust even more. And just so that we're talking from the same thing, this one is the one on the right hand side, and as you can see, it's fully bolted together and it still moves quite a bit because it's just just rubber. Obviously, because you want to have it as comfortable as possible without adding a lot of harshness. So that's a big rubber part down here. And yeah, it does work fairly well to keeping the noise out of the car and keeping the vibrations of the 3-cylinder away from the driver. But it's not made for hardcore racing, and so we decided to change that. And don't be surprised, because the new one looks like this. As you can see, it's fairly bit different. The biggest difference is this part. That's on the engine. So normally this one is just a mount, and then you bolt it to the other part at the engine with 3 bolts. On the new one, they got already rid of that and just bolt these complete to the engine, and then 1 bolt complete, and that's it. You have some rubber inserts, but they don't gonna dampen that much because the rest is just steel, very solid and very well welded. And yeah, I just had it powder coat, so it looks a little bit nicer and it's gonna live a little bit longer. So that's on the right hand side. You already saw the left hand side. Oh, I'm gonna add a video I've made from these bolts down here. They get loose fairly easy. We had, I think, 2 or 3 customer cars, which these are loose, and also in mine I got a video from a friend where he said, oh, this bolt is loose, is that the same as yours? And I'm checked and it's absolutely the same, so mine was also loose as well. So we torqued it back in, even with some Loctite, and it became loose again. So yeah, might want to check yours. That's the one of the left hand side, the gearbox. And you can't check these bolts because it's mounted in like this, so you can't really see the bolt, so you have to take it out. But it takes the intake, you need to remove the intake, and then I think you're there. So it's not a huge amount of work, but still maybe an hour or so to just check this. And this one gets replaced by this one. So they made a fairly heavy part, but it's not that heavy, so not heavy in the meantime of, I have to wait. I think the difference isn't that big. But I like that they also made some billet parts. I didn't powder coat these because they're not gonna rust, and I like looking at shiny billet parts, so yeah. Also the rubber inserts, they're not gonna dampen that much, but this will add a lot of rigidity to the engine. And yeah, I think I can say I won't recommend these to drive on if you're driving the car on the road. From this manufacturer, or you can buy them at, I don't think I have added them to the shop now, but I will. So you can buy them from us if you like to. Yeah, I think they're fairly easy to install if you want to do it yourself, but we can also do it for you, obviously. So, let's weigh them real quick and look how heavy or not heavy they are. Let's take our very accurate scale. Oh, battery low. Maybe it doesn't, so have to change the battery real quick. 1 second. Yeah, we're back on track with a new battery. So let's weigh them real quick. The new ones are 1.87. 1.87. Write that down real quick. And the other one is 1.552. 1.52. And the old ones. Oh, the old ones. I won't measure this one, or we have to add this one at the end because that's not calculated in right now because that's in the car at the moment. I thought it's heavier. 2.32, the old one. And the other one, yeah, that's also quite heavy. 1.92. The old ones, or the stock ones, are 4.24 and the new ones 3.39. So a difference of roughly 800 grams. So that's nearly a kilo. I'm surprised. They looked, and that's even after powder coating. So we added, I don't know, 50 grams? I don't know, maybe any powder coater can say how much this adds. I have no idea. Basically nothing, I assume. So it's 800 grams lighter, and the biggest part, this one, the stock one of these, is also gonna be removed. So we will look at maybe 2 kilograms in total. That's quite a lot for just 2 engine mounts, which are also more rigid, so very good. I'm surprised, honestly. Cool. Didn't expect that, but I'll take it. 2 kilograms is 2 kilograms. So, now let's install them.
6 months later.
So, let's finish the video of the engine mounts. The reason it took so long, it took us nearly, I don't know, 4 months now to complete the video. There's a couple of reasons. They're in now, and yeah, it's just not fun to install it at all. Yeah, we had some issues. First of all, they looked great. I'm sure you've seen the footage of how they looked. And first of all, they looked great. When I just tried to place them where they should be, they fitted quite okay. But in the end, it wasn't as good as it looked. One of the reasons was before we actually could install them, we had to re-weld two parts because it just wasn't welded there. They folded the metal over, but it wasn't welded together. So yeah, it was welded on the outside but not on the inside. So yeah, we just re-welded these two. It was like 3 to 4 centimeters, I think. So that's what we had to re-weld, and then we had to. I had them powder coat because metal or steel is just gonna rust there, and so I had them powder coated in black. And unfortunately, I did that before I installed them. And then the whole fun began because they did not supply any bolts. And yeah, first of all, I had to measure everything, buy the correct bolts. Then two stock bolts on the gearbox side are too long, so I had to buy shorter ones. So you could reuse the stock bolts, but they were too long, so I bought aftermarket parts, or aftermarket bolts, just shorter ones. I installed everything last weekend, and I couldn't end the video there because I was so angry and so pissed, so I decided to not do it and do it today. On the engine side, so this side right here, it didn't fit at all. It looked great at the start because it fitted all the original mounting points, but as soon as it's a two-piece part, and as soon as you wanted to fit the two pieces together, you just couldn't, because the angle of the engine and the angle which it allows to install it just doesn't fit, not at all. So we had to cut away, I think it was 5 or 6 millimeters of steel at the freshly powder coated parts, so we could actually install it. And then again we had to buy bolts because the stock bolts which connect the mount to the engine, they don't fit. They don't fit in the new part. I don't know why they just didn't do that. You need special parts for that, so I had to buy these bolts. The company I get all the bolts and nuts and stuff, they normally have everything in stock, but this is a special treat. I think it's fine treat, I don't know which exactly it is. Yeah, but they just don't have these, so I had to order them as well. First of all, I had to take everything apart, measure how long the bolts need to be, and then order them because they don't supply bolts. Why wouldn't you supply bolts? But they didn't, so I had to buy them. And then when I figured out it doesn't fit and had to cut off a little bit material, it was just, yeah, I was a little bit pissed, to be honest. Yeah, and it is now installed, and let me show you how good it is. No, it's actually not that bad. Once it's installed, it's really good, but there's also one thing missing. Let me show you. So, and down there is the mount. As you can see up here, we had to cut away some stuff because it's very, very close, and when you have everything installed, it just doesn't fit. And now look at this. This one's normally secured here with a bolt, but there's no mounting for that. I don't know why, but now it just holds with this one up here, and that's just not gonna do it, so I have to make a mount as well for this one because I don't like that at all. And the other ones down there don't know if you can see it very well, but it's down there. And yeah, it works. They fit, once it's installed, they fit actually quite nicely, but yeah, I don't know. There's a few things they could have done better with very small improvements, and then it would be a very, very nice installation, but yeah, they didn't, and so it's just shit to install. So if you think about having them installed or just buy them, if you have a lot of free time and if you like to have it installed, I think 3 or 4 times until everything fits, then off you go. But if you just want to have a plug and play version, then you might want to look somewhere else and buy something else. Other than that, I think they're gonna work quite nicely. They are much stiffer than stock. They are also lighter than stock, but installation is just, yeah. If you have an experienced workshop to do that for you, and if you don't mind having the car or leaving the car there for a couple of weeks, because they will have to measure bolts and then order them, because I'm quite sure they don't have them in stock. But that's it for this video, finally finished. And the next video is gonna be awesome because of the car outside there, and that video even took longer. I think I started that video a year ago or maybe even more. But yeah, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Have a good week. Goodbye.